Welcome back to the show. Today we're looking at something you probably drive past every single day without a second thought, the roadside ditch. But not just any ditch, the Ritchie Ditch. Before the 1960s, rockfall was a terrifying game of Russian roulette for drivers on mountain passes. Rocks didn't just sit pretty on the shoulder. They bounced, leaped, and somersaulted directly into traffic. That all changed because of a man named Arthur Ritchie, a geologist for the Washington State Department of Highways, who decided that luck wasn't a good enough safety protocol. Ritchie wasn't a man who enjoyed sitting behind a desk. He wanted to see physics in action. In the early 60s, he conducted a series of daring, arguably chaotic experiments. He went out to steep basalt cliffs, hauled massive boulders to the top, and simply pushed them off. Standing at the bottom with a clipboard and a camera, he watched how rocks of different shapes and sizes behaved. He discovered that rocks don't just slide, they roll, bounce, and trajectory jump based on the height and angle of the slope. It was the first time anyone had actually quantified the chaos of a falling stone. He realized that the standard flat shoulders of the era were essentially launch pads for falling debris. To stop a rock, you didn't need a wall, you needed a catchment area. Ritchie meticulously recorded thousands of rolls to determine the relationship between the height of the cliff, h, and the required width and depth of the ditch to ensure a rock stayed put. His goal was to find the sweet spot where the ditch's depth and slope would kill the rock's momentum before it could reach the pavement. Through this data, he developed the fundamental design criteria used by engineers across the globe. The core of his work involved calculating the horizontal distance a rock would travel based on the slope's steepness. While his original tables are extensive, the physics he observed can be summarized by the energy and trajectory of the fall. To determine the impact velocity, v, of a rock falling from a height, h, he leaned on the standard kinetic energy transition, where g is the acceleration due to gravity, approximately 9.81 meters per second squared. By understanding this velocity and the angle of impact, he could calculate exactly how deep a ditch needed to be to trap the energy of the bounce. The Ritchie Ditch became the international standard. If you see a deep, V-shaped or trapezoidal trench between the cliff and the white line, that's Art's legacy. He proved that you could tame the mountain with a bit of geometry and a lot of dirt moving. His work has saved countless lives, turning potential fatal impacts into nothing more than a few dusty stones sitting harmlessly in a hole. He turned a chaotic natural hazard into a solved engineering equation, making the wilderness just a little bit safer for the rest of us. So the next time you're driving through a canyon or winding up a mountain pass, take a quick glance to your right. Look at that humble, rugged trench carved into the earth. That isn't just a hole, it's a silent guardian. Think of Arthur Ritchie standing in the rain decades ago, watching stones tumble down a hillside just so you wouldn't have to. When you see a rock resting quietly in the bottom of that ditch, know that it was meant for the road, but Ritchie caught it for you.